want to welcome you today on behalf of the Manatee Tiger Bay Club. I'm Xavier Bailey, the president, and today we are celebrating the Honorable Pat Glass Leadership Awards Luncheon. When I became president, one of the women that I saw in politics that came to, it didn't matter if it was the black side of town or the suburbs or wherever she needed to go to get something done. She was going to work with people to get the job done. I saw her lead. I saw her tell people off in a very nice way. But she was so good at what she did. But most of all, she was a leader. And leaders open doors for the next generation. And she was someone that I was able to look up to. I had an opportunity to work with her daughter, who she also brought up as a leader. And she really, really, really stood for what I'm working for as myself, wanting to be a great leader one day. So we decided to, since she was one of the founders of the Manatee Tiger Bay Club 14 years ago, we decided to actually start a scholarship in her name. We started saying we would do 2 scholarships, and then my scholarship chair went through about 30 scholarships, her and her vice chair. And then like, can we do 7? I was like, no. But we were able to raise the money to supply the scholarships. So we will be talking about those scholarships today, and they're the Pat Glass Leadership Scholarship recipients. One of the awards that we did add was the Returning Scholar Leadership Scholarship Award. That is someone who may have a bachelor's degree, or they may be out of school and they're actually doing the work and maybe going back. They also can apply for this scholarship. So they don't have to be someone in high school. They can be someone that's returning back to further their education. Now we will have the Pledge of Allegiance by our Sarasota Military Academy, Command Sergeant Major Gabriel Spire. Please give him a round of applause as he comes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you so much. Please give our young people a round of applause. Sarasota Military Academy, they bring about 7 to 8 cadets to our luncheons for the last 3 years now. And it's very exciting to see them bringing the young people to our luncheons. Now, there's a lot of dignitaries in the audience, and I want to make sure that I don't forget anyone. So if you are a past sitting commissioner and you served in office, would you please stand? If you're an existing commissioner or city councilman, all of my elected officials, please stand. Everyone. Please give them a round of applause because these are our leaders. And I'm pretty sure they will tell you over lunch that being in these positions are not easy. Now, I would like to recognize all of my military and all of my veterans and active duty members in the audience, please. Would you please stand? Veterans and active duty members in the audience. Thank you so much for your service. Now I'm gonna do a little housekeeping. Can you please make sure that your cell phones are off? Thank you so much. And if you check, please just make sure you double check for me. We're going to start with our scholarship chair. Nancy Saunders and Pamela Harbor are going to come forth, and they're going to present our scholarships. Please give them a round of applause as they come forth.
Okay, welcome. As Xtavia said, we received so many applications for scholarships this first time that we're doing it. We had difficulty narrowing it down to the 5 that we finally selected. The students that received the scholarships, they're all taking exams today, so some are represented by their parents. So if you all would, the parents, if we call the name of your child, if you would please stand. Pamela, Mary Glass and I were the 3 readers of the scholarship essays, so it was a lot of fun to narrow these down. I'm going to start with Cadence Bivens. A graduate of Palmetto High School, Cadence owes her interest in law enforcement to her involvement with the Manatee Sheriff's Department Explorer Program. Serving as chaplain, treasurer, and secretary, she was promoted to sergeant during her senior year. She is attending Florida Atlantic University, majoring in criminal justice. She hopes one day to become an FBI criminal profiler and behavioral analyst. Cadence Bivens.
Our second awardee is Jessica Burdett. Jessica graduated from Manatee High School, a Girl Scout from kindergarten through high school. Jessica earned almost every badge and major service award. Her leadership extended to volunteerism in Mamzelle, where she took leadership roles with charity events for PACE, entre nous tours of homes, Relay for Life, and other events. She earned over 200 hours of Bright Futures service hours, a tutor of younger students of math, English, and French. She plans to earn a doctorate in English with a minor in French so she can one day become a university professor of English. She currently attends University of Florida. Jessica Burdett.
Michaela McNeil. A graduate of Southeast High School, Michaela attends Florida International University. She wrote in her essay, quote, "Volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club was my most meaningful commitment outside of the classroom," unquote. She loved that the younger children looked up to her as a role model, mentor, and friend. At Southeast, she was in the International Baccalaureate program, where she completed the IB courses and advanced placements rigorous curriculum. She is currently working toward a business administration degree where she plans to combine business with her passion for media. Said Michaela, quote, "My ambition is to be a leader who can inspire others as Pat Glass did."
Todrick Pollock. Todrick attends the University of South Florida, having graduated from Southeast High School, where he was very active in student government associations. Planning numerous events through challenges of COVID, Todrick worked to keep everyone safe and high morale. He planned and coordinated school events such as a Christmas party for students with special needs, blood drives, homecoming week, and pep rallies. As a senior, he served as senior president, where he mentored younger students. Wrote Todrick, "My overall goal for the future is to give back to the community that made me the person I am today and help make it a better place." Todrick Pollock.
Gabriella Reich. Gabriella graduated from the State College of Florida Collegiate School. In high school, she was elected president of the Key Club, where she coordinated Feeding Tampa Bay, Relay for Life, and UNICEF, among many other volunteer activities. At the age of 11, she became the youngest person to be accepted as a volunteer at the Suncoast Blood Center. After 5 years with over 500 hours of volunteer work, she became the first high school student to intern in the Laboratory Services Department. Due to her work as a volunteer, she was hired to be a lab assistant. At the Blood Center's request, she developed 2 paid positions that are now available to high school students. Gabriella is currently in the honors program at University of Florida, where she is a pre-med student. Since her enrollment, she has become a first responder for the community. Wrote Gabriella, "I hope to be a leader advocating for accessible and affordable health care for everyone." Gabriella Reich. So you can see we had a number of students who are so highly qualified from a wide range in the community, different schools, different colleges. But it's so important to recognize that the adults who offer these leadership building opportunities have a tremendous impact on the next generation. So please keep up your work. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for what you did on that scholarship. They really did a wonderful job. Please give them another round of applause. I would now like to call Mary Glass up, the daughter of the Honorable Pat Glass, just to say a few words about her mother. Please give her a round of applause as she comes.
Thank you, Xtavia, and a special thank you to Tiger Bay for honoring and keeping my mother's legacy alive. It's so nice to see her name after she's passed 2.5 years ago, and it was September of 2020, and it just seems like it was either a long time ago or it was just yesterday. So just a couple things about my mom, and I really enjoyed having John Chappie and Carol Whitmore and Betsy Benak and my brother Marty here, because I just briefly asked them, what did they think about with my mother and what kind of leader was she? And, you know, the things that came up, of course, from John were like, you know, she was a visionary with water and many other the critical needs that we need in our county, but also the ability to keep the lines of communication among dissenting partners. You know, it's a rare thing today. So she would listen to both sides. And, you know, even though she could be hardball, she did it with grace and dignity. And I think if a lot of people remember how she really led a county commission meeting, it was often, I was very proud to watch her, and she was, I think, chairman 5 times. So it's wonderful to think about her leadership. And I was so happy that we were able to honor her with the county commission building prior to her passing, because they were able to really go on about the list of things that she had accomplished. And, you know, that ability to build consensus, I just think of a lot of positive things with her leadership. And also the fact that she spent a lot of time with young children and even people in our community today that are in office. I know Bill Galvano always says to me, you know, I remember when I went to talk to your mother and she explained what it is and how government runs. And she took the time to educate people and help them because she really felt it was a calling and that it was a full-time job. So, you know, it's just a real honor today to have her name even mentioned. And I thank Tiger Bay for that tribute. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you so very much, Mary. I appreciate you. We were able to award the Honorable Pat Glass with the first Lifetime Achievement Award. So that was amazing to even be able to do that while she was still here with us. And so we're going to go in to our honorees at the moment. And our second recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award is going to be Robert Blaylock, and this award will be presented by Mark Barnaby.
Thank you, Xtavia. It is wonderful to be here. I do want to, before I start, say I knew Pat Glass very well. I worked actually with her when I was in the county attorney's office for 13 years, and then with her when I left the county attorney's office. And she was a very wonderful and inspirational lady, and a unbelievable benefit to this community. And so I think that's great that we recognize her in that way. I want to, Xtavia called me and asked me to introduce Bob Blaylock, and I welcome that opportunity and for all the things he's done for Manatee County. And so I started writing my presentation, and so I got going. And then she said, no, that's too long. And then it was still too long. So, Bob, it was a great presentation. I want you to know you missed a great introduction, but trust me, it was really good. I do want to focus on three items that in particular, because I am going to try to keep this short. Bob was instrumental in the early 80s. You may recall after the Summit Venture ship struck and sunk one of the two spans of the Skyway Bridge, Hillsborough County he found out Hillsborough County was pushing to eliminate the bridge altogether. And I assume, there was one span still left, and they were going to take that down. And so I assume that was to help their port. So Bob got wind of that and worked with community leaders here in Manatee County and in Pinellas County as well, and the state of Florida, and thwarted that effort. And of course, as we now know, there is a new bridge there, the Bob Graham Bridge, and it is a beautiful bridge, and we are very glad to be there because it was a heck of a drive to get to Pinellas County from here if we didn't have a bridge. I also want to talk about the fact that in the early 90s, Bob got wind that the pirates were being wooed by those scallywags in Winter Haven to move to Winter Haven, move their spring training over there. And Bob got together with chamber leaders and the city of Bradenton and county officials, and they had together agreed to sweeten the pot for the pirates to stay in Manatee County and stay, and that included significant improvements to McKechnie Field and Pirate City in particular. And without that, spring training would not be probably starting here in Manatee County this weekend. So he was very instrumental in that. And then I was talking with Marlene, and she noted that Bob is very proud of the law firm that he helped to grow and has his name on it to this day, and mold the attorneys in that firm, both how they practice and their involvement in the community. And the truth of the matter is, we do have a lot of great attorneys, and some of them are here in the room, but the truth of the matter is the firm is very proud of the leadership that Bob has given both in the law firm and in the community. And so with that, his inspiration and cultivation of that community involvement is very important to the firm. And we salute Bob for that beginning that process. And so it is with great pleasure that I'm happy to introduce and present to Bob Blaylock the Patricia M. Glass Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you so much. Please give him another round of applause. Now, I would like to remind you all that I do have the bios inside of the programs, and so I am leaving it to the presenters to say what they would like to say about their honorees, okay? Next, we have up the Presidential Award. This is for Representative Tommy Gregory, and this is going to be presented by Edward Bailey Jr. and Commissioner Mike Ron. Please give them a round of applause as they come. I think, Junior, you're going first.
Thank you. Tommy Gregory is a man whose whole life has been dedicated to service. From his time in the Air Force to his work in the community to his tenure as a state representative, he embodies the American spirit and shows us that real patriots still exist. He has been nothing but kind to me and has helped pave the way to form my own political journey, and I'll forever be grateful. A true conservative and a fighter, he represents not only his district, but the state of Florida well. President John F. Kennedy said, "Let public service be a proud and lively career, and let every man and woman who works in any area of our government, in any branch, at any level,
be able to say with pride and with honor in future years, I served the United States government in that hour of our nation's need. Tommy Gregory lives up to President Kennedy's quote and vision, and it's my honor to be here to present this award to him. And with that, Commissioner Mike Rock.
Job. Great job, young man. You do have a future in politics. As I said in my when I was running for county commission, excuse me, I will be brief, I'll be on point, and I will be gone. So what can I say about my friend Tommy Gregory? Other than that, he is an outstanding public servant. He has served our country as Lieutenant Colonel in the Air Force. He serves our state. He serves our community today in Tallahassee. He's up there right now doing the work that we need to be done to make Florida great, to make Manatee County great, and to do what we need to have done every day to protect our lives and our quality of life. So it's an honor to be able to stand up here today and recognize my friend, Lieutenant Colonel, State Representative Tommy Gregory, for this great award. And let's give him a round of applause. And he's in Tallahassee right now, so let's give him a round of applause. What I'd like to do is bring up the real Lieutenant Colonel in the family, Lieutenant Colonel Erica Gregory, to accept the award on Tommy's behalf. So Erica, come on up. Lieutenant Colonel. You want to say a few words? You want to say a few words? You sure you don't want to say something about your husband? Okay. She says Tommy's great. Thank you.
So the next award is going to go to Business Leadership Award. That is to David Sessions, CEO of Willis A. Smith Construction and Company, presented by myself, Allie. Where's Allie? Thank you. So just a little bit about Willis and Smith Construction has been building our community landmarks for the past 50-plus years. Some recently completed projects included the Bishop Museum, Bishop Animal Shelter, recently completed Sugg Middle School, Waterside Place for SMR. New projects currently in progress include Selby Gardens Master Plan, Moat Marine Science and Education Aquarium, East County Library and Lakewood Ranch, and Manatee County Mosquito Control District and Parish Fire Station Number 2. Willis and Smith Construction continues in its vision to build our community landmarks. And I just think you're an okay guy. No, he supported me when I ran for my bid for school board. And one thing he did tell me, it was not about if you win or not, which it would be great to win. He said, but it's about the people that you're going to meet and the things that you're going to do with those relationships that you build. And that's what leadership is. Dave Sessions, come on down.
Thank you, Xtavia. By the way, if you want to run again, I'd support you. Because I think you are wonderful, and also what you do for this community. Someone I've admired for a long time. I'm also very honored to be recognized, especially in the name of Pat Glass, who was a community leader that I admired for a very, very long time. I also want, as the CEO of Willis Smith, I'm the one that gets to come up here and get the recognition. However, it's really our wonderful clients, it's my wonderful partners, Nathan Carr here with me, it's my wonderful employees, Liz Brookins, who's been with me now for almost 30 years, helping build our firm into what it is today. So again, I'm very honored and thank you for the recognition.
Thank you so much. Next, we have the First Responders Leadership Award. And I need Mayor Jean Brown to do this presentation.
Thank you, President Bailey, and all of the Tiger Bay Board for having us today. And obviously, I knew Pat Glass when I was younger, and some of the I know one of my family members had a lot of fun times with her in the 80s and 90s, a cousin of mine who was mayor of the city of Bradenton. But I thought, thinking about it, with what was said earlier about how she really brought people together. And that's what it was about, you know. And I mean, in the political world we live in today, nationally, statewide, and locally, it's about doing that again. And that's what we want to try to really bring back together. We don't always have to agree with each other, but we should get along and work together for the good of the whole. And that's obviously important. And one of the things, you know, talking about our chief, which only been here 7 years, which isn't really a long time to make an impact in a community, but what she's done in those 7 years has. And, but her 29 years in St. Pete showed that, you know, when she came down here, she could really help our community and move it forward. There's quite a few things. Obviously, being the first woman chief in the city of Bradenton was very important, as was Pat Glass, our first county commissioner, and doing that. Some of the things that when you go through and you look over, you know, she's really kind of brought that community policing back to the city of Bradenton, working forward. And I think that's something that's important now, because we do have an urban core in an area that's going to be developing. We need the policing to be there to make sure that we are doing the right things in the communities, as well as in some areas that, you know, you see that are going to need some more help. And that's something that through her community policing, her staffing, and going through in this tough time of policing around our country has been very great for our city, and as well as our county. And I know that some of the things she's done, I mean, you look at her leadership part of things, when you have numerous governors and attorney generals and things appointing her to things, as well as a previous president that, you know, he did not get reelected, and that was a win for the city of Bradenton that she stayed, because if President Trump would have been reelected, she would have been on one of his cabinet parts of working through the Southeast region. So, you know, it was, and that was me coming in as mayor saying, oh, she might be leaving, which, you know, is one of the things in the city. The mayor does control two things, my assistant and the chief of police. And I get a lot of questions how's the chief? So I like her. So, and obviously what she's done here has been so proactive for our community, not only working through the police department and trying to really go through some tough times, and also with our community in the staffing part of it. You know, that's probably one of the hardest things right now in policing, is to get the younger people energized to do that because of the turmoil you see around the country and that. But we're just proud of her in the city of Bradenton. We've got the majority of our council here today that I know supports her very well, and with our administration. So we'd just like to congratulate you on what you've done, Chief, and really keep up the good work, and congratulations on this award. And I know it's special for Pat Glass and you to have that award. So thank you. And as we know, she's never short on words, so I think Xavier told her 2 minutes or less. So.
No, 30 seconds. Well, thank you, Mayor. I always remind everybody whenever myself or any of my staff members go to accept any kind of recognition on behalf of BPD that I just happen to be the chief. It's not me who deserves all the honors. It's the men and women who are out there every day. You pass one on the way in that they're putting their lives in harm's way, sacrificing a lot each and every day to keep this community safe. And so I always want to, remind everybody, I just get the luxury of coming to a luncheon and getting handed something, but I do it only as a representative for them. They're the true heroes. I will tell you, I came to this community 7 years ago. I didn't know what to expect. I loved St. Pete. I loved Tampa when I lived there. I had no idea how incredibly much I would fall in love with this community. Bradenton is a gem. If people knew how great the people, the places, the community, how the community comes together, they'd all want to come, and that would make our traffic worse. And so I'm glad that they don't. From the mayor, I've had a lot of bosses over my 37-year career, but I will tell you, this is the best one I've ever had. He has stood by me. He has stood by the agency. The council that we currently have, you couldn't find a more supportive body. Who we have sitting right now leading Bradenton, it's an incredible group, and I think we're going to do great things. And so thank you so very much for this, and that's it. 30 seconds.
I do want to say a quick few words about Chief Bevan before I go to the next award. During the highlights of the the racial division with police officers, and I came to her and I said, I don't know if it was the mayor I called first, and I was like, I need to shut down the bridge. And I was like, you need to do what? And I was like, we're gonna bring everybody together because we're better together, no matter where we come from. And to have the police departments, and I graduated from in '03 from the police academy, so I really think I'm a cop, but so I but to bring the community out and have politicians, have white, Spanish, black, green, orange, people saying that we should stand together and treat each other with respect was everything. And for the chiefs that came out, the sheriff, all the chiefs were there. The sheriff was out of town, but he had people there. And we had city councilmen, we had county commissioners, and we had our leaders in our communities walking this bridge as a group of people that said we're going to stand together. And being in these leadership roles are not easy. You have to make hard decisions. Sometimes people don't like every decision that you make, but you're in these positions for a reason. So you have to keep going no matter what. But thank you so much, and thank you to all the leaders in the room. And I'm done. So my next award is the Educational Leadership Award. This is Sarasota Military Academy. Can I get Jane Falstucker up and Cindy Spray and come to the side over here for me? I would like to call up Sarasota Military Academy and the cadets. We decided to choose Sarasota Military Academy this year. The first recipient of our education was the State College of Florida. They actually received this award first, and actually our first responders was Sheriff Wells. He was actually the first recipient. So we just want to say thank you for grooming these leaders for tomorrow. Thank you for taking the time to empower them and encourage them that they can do anything, they can be anything. And if you speak to any of these cadets that come in, they look you in your eyes, they shake your hands with sternness, and it's very, they're just great cadets, and any one of them that comes. So I know it's not just one or two. I know this is the culture of their school. And I just want to say thank you all for what you do. And if you would come say a few words about your school, that would be awesome. Please give them a round of applause.
On behalf of Sarasota Military Academy Board of Directors, our employees, our families, and our cadets, I am honored to accept this Educational Leadership Award. Many of you may know that our foundation is built on the 7 Army core values, and the acronym for that is rightly so, leadership. So we graduate young men and women who go out into society. They are great citizens, they're making a difference in the world, and they are leaders, and they are part of the solutions, not the problems. Some of you may know that we are a public charter school, and we enjoy having families enroll their children from Manatee County. And with us this morning is one of those cadets.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gabriel Spire. I live over in Palmetto, and I do attend Sarasota Military Academy, so that is a little bit of a drive every morning. But for the last 4 years of my life, I've spent the majority of my time at Sarasota Military Academy, and even after school, I'm spending the majority of my time revolving around the extracurriculars and things that I do for that school. I serve as the command sergeant major of our school and our regimental staff, making me one of the highest non-commissioned officers in the school. I oversee 700 cadets, and at the school, I'm able to learn like tons of lessons. I've developed relationships and learning experiences that I plan to carry on for years, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So if you are involved with that school in any way, just know you're making a great impact on a ton of cadets, and they will remember it. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I want to thank you all for coming here, and I'm so glad to see such a wonderful representation of our entire community here to honor all of these wonderful young people especially. And the only word that I wanted to say is that my impression of these young students from Sarasota Military Academy has always been that they are impressive, confident, and capable. And I'm very honored to have the opportunity to offer and present an award to this wonderful school. Thank you.
The next leadership award is our Media Visionary Award. The first recipient of this award was Manatee Education Television, Charles Clapsaddle. Our second honoree for this particular award is going to be Renee James Gilmore, Empowering Voices with ABC 7 WWSB Suncoast. We will have a presentation by Jeff Schessler. We practiced it. We practiced. Come on up.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeff Schlesser. I'm the news director at WWSB TV, ABC 7 in Sarasota. It's great to be here with you today. What a wonderful event. Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of the leadership of Gray Television, our general manager, Jeff Benninghoff, the other Jeff at the station, Jeff B., I'm Jeff S., and on behalf of everyone on the team, it is so great to be with you today. And I have the privilege of introducing one of our beloved colleagues. When I arrived at the station just about 2.5 years ago, Renee James Gilmore stood out for so many reasons. Our community sees her work each and every day, but I get to see the behind the scenes every day. She puts in countless hours to tell the stories that often just don't get told. For so many in our business, community affairs programming is an afterthought. And I'm proud to say that through Renee's tireless efforts, it's really become a heartbeat in our newsroom. As many of you know, Empowering Voices airs on Saturday mornings. Renee also produces special segments seen in select newscasts. And Renee never hesitates to make the call when unthinkable events happen, big and small, these events that fold into our news cycle. Think of it, so often news and newsmakers are reduced to a soundbite. That's 7 to 12 seconds of quotes or context from a human being, and that's essential for any story in our business, print, radio, television, digital. But Renee's work is so different. It allows us to go deep, and we're talking about extended conversations on some very tough and important issues. It's context, it's perspective, and I'm grateful to add in Renee's case, it's passion. Countless calls and emails lining up and coordinating guests, and then the thoughtful planning and parsing out of the content. These are people-driven segments and stories that Renee brings to life. Our viewers are stronger because of your work, Renee. Our newsroom is stronger because of your passion. And we, the community, we're stronger because of your dedication. Congratulations, and congratulations to all the other honorees today. We're lucky to call Manatee County home, and we can't wait to see what we do together. Thank you. Renee, why don't you come on up, and the rest of the team will present the award to you.
Thank you so very much. And I want to thank not just the people who are sitting here at the table, but we have a whole team back at the station. And Estavia, thank you so very much. I want to say, I don't even know what to say. Speechless, right? This is what happens with people who normally are behind the microphone end up getting a voice in front of the microphone. But I want to say that I'm so very proud to work for ABC7 and to be having the wonderful opportunity to host Empowering Voices, because it is a show that is really dedicated to bringing people together, having conversations that we need to have as community members, as residents of this beautiful Suncoast area. And so there are conversations, there are people that we get to see that we normally wouldn't get to hear their voice. And so it's a pleasure to make sure that we have a platform such that all of us can come together and have real meaningful conversations and get to know each other. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes stressful when it comes to conversation, but conversation is good. Thank you.
Our next leadership award is Nonprofit Leadership Award of the Year. And the last awards we had, the honoree was the Manatee County Humane Society, which many of our recipients are here. And the Business Award, I'm sorry, that went to John and Amanda Horn. They were our first recipients. Next, we have Don Giffens, President and CEO of Goodwill, Minnesota. Dr. Mullins, can you come down? I'm just going to read a few things about Goodwill. Here are some high-level 22 information for you all to know. We have served 3,969 people assisted, 196 gained employment, ended 2022 with 768 team members, 71% of whom have some self-identified barrier to the employment or disability. Collected $939,000 in donations, processed 1.88 million transactions, assisted in the collection of 220,954 pounds of non-perishable food items for our community partners. 45,618,653 pounds were diverted from landfills through our mission, integrated donated goods in retail system. I am a proud board member of the Goodwill, Minnesota, and I actually was recruited by Bob, and we have a new CEO, and he is doing an amazing job, and he's progressive, and he wants to help wherever he can go. Don, please come down. Now, Don has been with Goodwill, Minnesota for 17 years. I also would like to invite Bob Roziski down. He just retired in June or July. Come on, come down, Bob. Bob was with Goodwill, Minnesota for 50 years. Don, I want you to speak and then you can have the mic.
Sure. So just, again, it's a privilege to be here representing Goodwill, Minnesota, our 784 now team members, many of whom are here at the table with us. Our volunteer board of directors, Xtavia, we have Betsy Benak in the room as well. It's just a privilege to serve this community and to be standing here next to Bob Rozinski, who brought me to Sarasota and gave me this opportunity. I just can't thank him enough, and his leadership has meant so much to me over my career. So thank you for this honor, and we look forward to continuing to serve the community, and look forward to meeting more of you in the future. Take care.
To that microphone.
The best thing you can do as a leader is to ensure the sustainability and the capacity of a organization to keep providing services and changing the community in better ways. And Don and the team that is sitting here today reflects the work that we've been doing, the work that the Board of Directors has done, and the work that you as a community do in supporting us with your donations. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Last but not least, our Philanthropy Award. Our Philanthropy Leadership Award is going to Ron Allen, President and owner of NDC Construction Company. Mr. Shin is going to be doing the presentation.
Thank you, Xavier. Thank you. It is indeed a privilege to introduce Ron Allen. This is not something Ron likes. Most of you in here know him. He's the type that likes to be very quiet and outside of the limelight. He doesn't want any recognition, but he does so much. Bob Blaylock and Ed Vogler introduced me to Ron when they first came to town. And what I learned was he was from Pittsburgh and very proud of it. But he soon became Bradenton in Manatee County. I met his dad and his mom. They moved down here. His sister moved down. And now he has grandkids here. So even though you'll see him at the Pittsburgh Pirates and you might see him at the Penguins game against the Lightning, but this is now home. He's been very involved, and where you'll find him involved is usually with the youth or with law enforcement and the fire department. He's been president of the 100 Club. He's been chairman of the State College of Florida, changed their name. I went to MJC, and that's just the way I know it. But he's also received several awards. He received the Bob Bartz Leadership Award from the Manatee Chamber of Commerce. Last year, he received the Good Scout Award from the Boy Scouts of America, which is for an individual who's made a lasting impact on his community over the years. And you all don't know this. I know that law enforcement knows it. When we have a situation where we have a fallen officer or a family in need, Ron makes phone calls. And they raise the money to make it happen to support those families. When a K-9 goes down, he makes it happen. When they need extra support that's beyond the budget, he and his friends make it happen. They never get recognized. And that's really nice that they're doing it because they care and they're making the community better. The other thing that's really neat, and sometimes he gets beat up because he's been successful. Just like Willis Smith, they give back first. But people go to him for sage advice. When things are on the line, when we're talking about the island and whether or not we need to deck the parking lot, and what are we going to do for access to the people, you know, people come and talk to Ron about it from a perspective. He's a visionary. So he's been an impact to this community like a Bob Blaylock. Even though he wasn't born here, he bleeds it like I do, and I was born here. So it's indeed an honor to introduce and recognize Ron. Thank you.
Thank you, Byron, for those kind words, especially the changing of State College from MJC. I thought we had put that to rest, but thank you for that. What, on behalf of NDC and the NDC family of companies and the 400-plus employees that we have in those companies, because I couldn't be here to do what I do on the philanthropy side if it wasn't for those people working hard every day in our communities, both volunteering and making dollars for our company that allows us to give back to the community. Everybody has talked nice about the Pat Glass Awards and Pat Glass. I want you to know that Pat Glass used to take me to the woodshed constantly when I was a young developer in town. And she gave me a lot of encouragement and a lot of mentoring on what it is to be a community leader. I have a special place in my heart for Pat. She left a lasting impression. So this honor today with Pat Glass's name on it means more to me than just about anything in the world. It's wonderful to see the other honorees here today. I'm a little humbled to be on stage with them because I look and see what they do in the community, and I think they by far have contributed more to the community than most, including myself. But I'm thankful to be part of this. I have the Goodwill folks over here who just do a wonderful thing from a philanthropy standpoint. And I was thinking as I was sitting in the chair here, I was reminding myself back to the church days. I'm the last guy to talk about philanthropy. I feel like I'm in church and I'm getting ready to pass the proverbial the cup to raise money. But, you look at whether you're standing in the Manatee Performing Arts Center, which is a wonderful organization. You have the Boys and Girls Clubs of Manatee County. You have Goodwill. And I know I'm going to miss a bunch of them out here today. But it's so important because, as Byron described, when I got here in Bradenton in 1984, I fell in love with it, and I literally bleed Bradenton and Manatee County today. And I just can't thank enough the nonprofits out there doing the job every day to make sure to lift our community. And so, if you have an opportunity in the near future, I know most everybody in this room is already great contributors to our community from a nonprofit standpoint, but please do, because I think it makes us all better in the future. Thank you again for this award.
I don't mind.
All right.
The chocolate. I wanted you all to know that on the awards, it says true leadership develops daily, not in a day. And if you are a leader and you're doing anything in this community, we want you to keep doing it. Don't get discouraged. Just keep doing it, okay? But now I want to thank everyone for coming out. I do want to let you all know I do not have a problem with asking for money for my scholarships. So if you need me to pass the plate for next year's scholarships, we can. But if you're interested in sponsoring a scholarship for one of our recipients next year, please do. We also have our membership open. It is $100 for membership, which is $35 for the luncheon, $45 for non-members for the year. And we will start our programs next month with mental health and law enforcement. So we'll have Sheriff Wells, Melissa Larkin, and then we have 2 more participants on that actual panel. And I think the April program is youth and politics. So what our young people think about politics. We'll have both sides from Democrats, Republicans, and the independents, but they will be our young people, the future of politics. So we're going to give them an opportunity to discuss where they think politics is going in our community. I want to thank all the honorees for the Lifetime Achievement Award. Bob Blaylock, thank you so much for being here and your family. We appreciate all of you coming. Presidential Award, Congressman Representative Tommy Gregory, not yet. And thank you so much, Erica, for being here. I appreciate you. Business Leadership Award, David Sessions. Educational Award, Sarasota Military Academy. The First Responders Award, Chief Melanie Bevin. And the Media Visionary Award, Renee James Gilmore. The Nonprofit Leadership Award to our very own Goodwill. Thank you so much for being here. And our Philanthropy Award to Ron Allen. I want to thank our media for being here today. We appreciate you. We have METV, we have ABC7, who is corporate members of the Manatee County Tiger Bay Club. Thank you to the board members. We have our president, myself, Xavier Bailey, treasurer Alice O'Donnell. Do we have any board members? Could you please stand up for me? Any of the board members, please stand up. Secretary is Christy Zena, Lisa Chittero, John Colon, Rebecca Furter, James Frederick, Alexandra Green, Christy Haley, Pamela Harbor, George Cruz, Jonathan Mullis, Dr. Jane Falstacker, Tara Polton, Michael Ron, Nancy Sanders, and Cindy Spray. Thank you so much for all you do. If you can see, we now have moved from Pier 22 after 14 years, and we will now be having our meetings here at the Manatee Performing Arts. But guess what? I get to switch up the lunch a little bit. So no more just like the salad and the chicken. I'll be able to get a little different things for you guys now. You have been asking, so we're going to oblige. Charles Clapsaddle, METV, thank you so much for all you do. They're always here taping. Please give Charles Clapsaddle and his team a round of applause. Thank you to Popey's and their wait staff. We appreciate you being here today. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I try to stay on time. I know the dessert is still coming out, but I try to get you out by 1 o'clock. I might be a little ahead of myself, but listen, you all have a great day.